regular season matchup, of course, took place in Utah. So a regular season matchup between the two here at St. Mary's Stadium for the first time in 2 years. St. Mary's kicking off to BYU. Real quick, going to run you through the St. Mary's starters. John Henry Rouse, Nate Deegan, and John Wilson up front. Cahill Coakley, Matthew Abbas. Benny Hatch, Sione Ofa, King Matu, Hunter Maudlin, your scrum half. Dom Bisag, your fly half. Sasai Pongi, Tatum Pappas. As Bisag tries to make a play right there on the sideline, going to be marked out. Siale Ofa on the wing with Josefa Toye Ivao and Mario Storti, the fullback. So a good kick early there from BYU.
Starts play.
And there's one more added factor besides the fact that they're both powerful scrum teams, the pitch conditions. Obviously, it's been raining a lot all week. We're very happy that it is cleared up beautifully for the match itself today, but you can already see some of that grass might not hold up the way it normally would. In the effort to get it back, it was already knocked on, and as John Henry came away with it, the main official, Matt Lake, blew it dead and set up the scrum for BYU. An early good push for St. Mary's. BYU does maintain possession. Good open field tackling, at least slowed down the 8-man of BYU. That's Brooke Faitohi. And now St. Mary's awarded a penalty there, Marty.
Yeah, good poach by King Matu. That St. Mary's was pushing the scrum back. Their number 8 had possession, took it around while St. Mary's still pushing. Caught in a tackle. I forget which back that was, but a good tackle there. King Matu in great position to poach the ball. Referee calls holding in for BYU, allowing St. Mary's to kick for touch here, now with an attacking line out inside the 40-meter line.
Yeah, much better position than the earlier lineout we saw. They've got about 15 further meters up the field. We'll see how the Gales take advantage of this one. A little bit of a fake to Coakley. Get that one in cleanly. St. Mary's with possession, numbers, and space. Pappas to Storti. Storti is going to run this one all the way out to the sideline. Dragged all the way into touch. Thought he could get rid of that one just before the BYU defenders dragged him out. A good job by the Cougar defense. Now working through some phases. Hoping to play some clean rugby now as they finally move into St. Mary's territory for the first time in this match, a little over 5.5 minutes in. BYU continues to work through their phases. Morgan thinks he sees a line, gains a few meters. St. Mary's does well to rally. A dummy there from the scrum half, that's Belknap. Not much room for him. A pick and go now from about 20 meters out. BYU was swinging it out wide early to get into this position. Now they're relying on their forwards. They go back out wide. Morgan with a kick through the line. Back there, forward is Toye Ivao and dives on it. Big time tackle. And it's great to see that from St. Mary's. So many times we get caught up in the electricity of the backs and the fun play and the loose play that they can sometimes go with offensively, but seeing the defense being strong this early on is definitely a good sign against a very good BYU side. Good step from Pongi. He's got Pappas to his right. Pappas now into space. Taken down by the BYU tackler, and they will have advantage from a knock-on via that tackle, but St. Mary's gained plenty of territory there. It was an excellent run from Pongi and great support from Pappas that has St. Mary's back on the BYU side of the pitch. BYU 40. Trying to gain that space once more. St. Mary's has the man to defend. That's Siale Ofa trying to counter ruck, doing well to put pressure on BYU. Doesn't get all the way through, but definitely makes them uncomfortable. BYU back into the middle, going to go back to the forwards, and St. Mary's forwards have held up just fine. And then BYU finally a mishandle. Seems like those have been few and far between so far in this one. And St. Mary's does get the poach, Marty. Big time stuff right there out of the Gales. Maudlin goes quickly, or BSAG anyway. I'm learning as the years go on. Good push there on the ball from St. Mary's. Finally stalls a little bit, then BYU has to regroup, and St. Mary's pushing once more. Big push on the ball, down towards the try line. They also have a penalty just outside, about a meter out. This one to Bisag. Bisag breaks through and gets it down. A big-time maul right there leads to a Dom Bisag try for the Gales.
Yeah, St. Mary's really driving that maul. A lot of their players committed to it. A little bit of a surprise to outpower BYU, how big their pack is. But St. Mary's was grinding on them, pushing them. Referee gave us the advantage, the penalty. One of their players came around, almost got it through on the maul, and then a pop out to B-Sag and a strong-legged run to dot it down for the first try of the day for St. Mary's.
And this is what I was going to mention as an interesting factor when we're figuring out the positional shifting that the Gales had to do with this substitution is now Klein is probably going to take most of the kicking duties. St. Mary's obviously very confident in him. Very confident in Mario as well. But Klein, of course, taking over here. We saw him kick it into touch a moment ago. And here, drilling the conversion to make it a 7-0 early St. Mary's lead, about 13 and a half minutes into the match.
Yeah, good possession there by St. Mary's, taking advantage of that poach. That really was the difference maker. That turnover there allowed St. Mary's to pop it into the corner and go for the rolling maul. But that possession, that steal right there with the poach was the difference in that play.
Yeah, vital there. And, of course, you can always look all the way back in the sequence of events, but also, even though Pongi ended up out, that Pongi run with the Pappas offload, that got him in the position, that part of the field, and then the defensive pressure they've been applying to BYU so far has been very impressive. A long kickoff here from the Cougars makes its way to Dom Bisag. Bisag's going to opt to kick this one back to BYU. Goes all the way into touch. BYU going to just go ahead and take this one. Do have numbers, and they're going to take advantage. St. Mary's does have players ready. With no support for BYU, Storty picks up the poach and another penalty awarded to St. Mary's and another opportunity that we saw just a moment ago.
Yeah, it was. BYU got around the corner. I think St. Mary's is going to need to address that, but they got that ball around the corner. Good tackle by JT there, and a good poach by Mario. Referee saw it clearly. A good poach, giving St. Mary's possession with the penalty kick. Yeah, that's a really tough kick from that angle there, and Oliver Klein did a great job getting the ball down the field for St. Mary's.
What I mentioned, that kicking game that Klein can bring. It's an added factor for the St. Mary's offense and defense. The maul this time, much more stopped up by BYU, possibly more prepared. B-Sag now has Klein. Klein's going to go back to that kicking game looking for Siale Ofa. Hits him on the fly. What a kicking catch from Klein and Ofa. What a play.
Wow, that's precision right there. That was a great To be fair, BYU was in pretty good shape defensively where their fullback was lined up, but that kick was outstanding, and Siale just tracked that down with a nice catch and dove it over the line for the try.
What a play right there. Wow. As you mentioned, the precision on that kick, and then Ofa confidently diving into that one right into the try zone. I mean, Klein, I don't know if he could have thrown it better with his hands.
No, that was a great kick right there. I think people get an understanding of how difficult that really is, and not many people can do it to that degree. But what a perfect kick. And Siale Ofa was also right there and in great position to catch the ball. So that tandem right there worked out really well, giving St. Mary's another try.
Excellent chemistry between the two. Klein, BYU once again having to kick to the Gales, and again going long to B-Sag. No surprise, he's going to go to the same thing he went to earlier that worked out well for the St. Mary's side. Going to kick it into touch. This one marked all the way back around midfield, where that one goes to Sione Ofa. He goes long back to the St. Mary's players and support. Siale Ofa comes up with it, a dummy, and then outruns the next. St. Mary's has space. He's going to kick this one over the last line of defense. Giving chase is Storty. Storty right there on it. Waiting for the call, and he touches it down for the try. What a play there.
Yeah, referee talking to the touch judge.
Gonna confirm it, make it official, and they do. Another excellent display of skillfulness from the St. Mary's backs.
Yeah, what a great turnover there. St. Mary's turned it over earlier on their line out, which gave BYU all this space. Turnover right there, bad throw. Picked up by Sione, great little wide pass. Ciali breaks a tackle, and then probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest kids on the team, gives it a nice little chip down and a great chase by Mario Storti, and he was able to touch it down for the third try of the day.
Yeah, off to the races once he broke that first tackle. But again, St. Mary's playing so well in space, using the kicking game to their advantage, and a lot of it is stemming from the defense, as you mentioned, that turnover.
Yeah, the turnovers, St. Mary's turned it over earlier, and you saw how many yards BYU was able to gain. That time, St. Mary's was able to take that turnover and turn it into points. And
some of the St. Mary's faithful unhappy with what went on in the ruck there, but it's just a dirty physical space between the two sides. Now Brown for BYU, moving closer to St. Mary's territory. Tenney runs into Wilson. Helping Wilson there was Ofa. St. Mary's continues to do well in the tackling space. We've seen a few slip-ups. For the most part, they've been solid. That is where BYU almost catches the corner, gets it back into Pappas. And then Pappas actually dropped that one. It was thrown by the BYU player right at Pappas's chest. He caught it, turned around, dropped it, and it was an unintentional knock on there.
Yeah, there was some interesting passing going on there by BYU, throwing the ball around, which they typically haven't done over the years, so maybe that's a different strategy they've implemented. But St. Mary's was able to get possession there somehow and knocked it on, and now you'll have BYU scrum just past midfield.
And over by the benches where the tie-dyed shirts are back for the 2025 campaign. Going to see if either bench can bring some energy here to support their guys as we get closer and closer to closing down the first half. This one does collapse, so they're just going to reset it. One thing the St. Mary's program often has on their opponents is strength in numbers. Of course, BYU can't travel with their entire program, but here at St. Mary's Stadium, you're going to be facing a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to the energy from the bench. St. Mary's has in store for the Cougars. This could be a great opportunity to quickly answer the BYU try-and conversion. And as you mentioned, just Brown squared up to that ball, so it'd be pretty impressive to drop it backwards. It would be tough to do. Matu takes it to the short side. He had support in Maudlin, decides to take it down into a ruck. Short pass there. I believe that's Wilson at the bottom of the pile. Good drive there. John Henry Rouse. Swung out. That one got loose. Attempted kick from BYU. St. Mary's still with possession. There's Klein to Bisag. Bisag goes long. Toya Eval dancing on the outside. Goes down.
Possession stays.
Instead, that one snagged out of the air by Matthew Abbas. Toya Eval now on the inside goes down. St. Mary's going to run a couple phases of their own. There's Hatch. Back inside, Deegan trying to make up ground. Good strong-legged run. He's inside the 22. St. Mary's has advantage. Up and good, though, from Klein. He is a new Gale, but he is acclimated to the conditions here at St. Mary's Stadium. Gales go up by 13, score of 20-7. Kick off to Bisag. Bisag kicks back. This one into touch. Possibly a little bit further down the pitch than last time, which is an excellent kick there from Bisag. BYU's got to line out inside their own 40, and Maudlin opts not to give it to John Henry Rouse. He's going to take it himself inside the 22. That's where Klein needs to step forward and support. Bisag looking for a line. He goes down. Maudlin's got John Wilson. Wilson strong through contact as always. Egan to Klein. Klein to Bisag. Bisag a tapping pass to Storty. Storty's got to Eval. He's going to cut inside, avoiding touch. St. Mary's doing well through multiple phases here. Deegan, Klein, Wilson. Wilson, a big run and a big contact play there. As St. Mary's gets closer and closer to the 5, I saw it a little loose in that ruck. And I think it was on BYU. Maudlin goes quick tap and go. John Henry now inside the 5. St. Mary's just 1 meter out. It's going to be John Wilson. He goes quickly to his teammate. Who is that with the ball? Unsure. St. Mary's still possession outside the try-zone. Bisag tries stepping through the middle. He's 2 meters out. King Matu all the way down to the try line and good. Fights through the contact, bounces into the try-zone, and St. Mary's adds another.
Yeah, it was advantage penalty given to St. Mary's by the BYU guy early on. You could see him on the ground reaching in and grabbing the ball, slowing it down, which was a tactic that they used. But referee saw it, continued to play advantage, gave him the penalty, quick tap to the left, couple of phases, nice strong pop pass by Bisag to King Matu, who was able to power it through and dot it down for the 4th try of the day.
Something nice to see from the St. Mary's side is the ability to score through the middle. Obviously, we know they can do that, but with how fluent their scoring's been so far and how reliant it's been on the backs, it's good to see something up the middle there that Matu finishes.
Yeah, it was good timing there. They had tried to puncture the BYU defense, and they were doing a good job of it. And they were able to get it to appeared to go wide, so it just loosened up the BYU defense slightly.
St. Mary's leads by 18, 25-7, now under 3 minutes to go on our in-house scoreboard. Unsure what our main official, Matt Lake, has in store exactly, but definitely in the waning moments of the first half. Kickoff taken by Pappas. Pappas going to kick this one back to the BYU side. Doesn't get it into touch, but Brown catches it and steps into touch. That call was made by the officials. Well done there by Pappas, putting Brown in a very uncomfortable spot.
Will be a St. Mary's line out. Great result for them here.
Yeah, he was trying to argue that he was in touch the entire time, but then he also threw it from in front of the line once more, so that wouldn't have worked for him. Matu. Oh my goodness, what a strong run from the 8-man King Matu. Deegan then gives it to Wilson, but I believe a forward pass being called there. There's it. For the first half, St. Mary's leading 25-14, a strong half from St. Mary's, but 2 strong possessions from BYU keep this a very close match. BYU kicks into touch. St. Mary's will take the line out.
Yeah, not a very good kick to touch by BYU there, allowing St. Mary's an attacking line out. So it looks like Don Bisag's back to 10.
Excellent snag there on the line out. Pappas into contact. Up to John Henry Rouse. He's taken down and flipped. He's trying to set the ruck. They finally get it there. John Wilson to Nate Deegan. Deegan down. Maudlin's got Pappas. Pappas has Bisag. That's Coakley out wide. Siale Ofa taken down. St. Mary's deep into BYU territory. Here comes the 8-man Matu. Strong run. Pappas doing well operating off of Maudlin. Finds Ofa successfully. There is that maul. Collapsed inside the 5. Pick and go. Official has advantage for the Gales. Maudlin out wide. Good tackling from BYU. They're not giving up any ground to the Gales. And I'm 99% sure I just saw a BYU player just punch Nate Deegan in the face. James Tenney just swung on Nate Deegan on the far side. He fully did. It's in the stream as well. James Tenney just threw a right hook at Nate Deegan while they were both holding each other's jerseys. He just threw a right hook. I mean, there's no room for that on the pitch, no? Obviously, there's grappling going back and forth, and that happens. But a punch?
Yeah, it looked like it was right in front of the touch judge, but the touch judge doesn't seem to be, or now will approach the referee, and we'll see if she's seeing or telling the referee about what happened, because it was right in front of her, I believe.
I mean, grappling has gone on between both sides, pushing and shoving. You see it in a lot of matches that become highly contested, but I mean, Deegan looked like he took a haymaker. Might have even been in the fashion of a hockey punch, when they've got each other's jerseys and it's like a jab like that, but the two got tied up outside of the play, and then the extracurriculars continued, and that's why they're having this long conversation. So they're bringing both Vaitohi, the captain, and Tenney over. Meanwhile, it looks like it's Coakley over there. Of course, the captain for St. Mary's having a conversation with our official, Matt Lake. It looks like a yellow card has been given to Tenney.
Yeah, only a yellow is a bit surprising. Typically, those will end up being a red card, but referee's conversation with the touch judge puts it in as a yellow card, so St. Mary's will be playing for the next 10 minutes, a man up.
And maybe there's a world where it was more of a hockey punch, where the jersey was already held, and that's why they're going to... But, I mean, my goodness, that seemed not okay. Everything can be settled in the game of rugby from here on out. Clock showing 33 and a half minutes. Not sure if the referee has stopped time or how he's operating it on his own watch, but as this one continues on, that'll be something to monitor as well. Pappas a strong run. He's inside the 5. Pick and go from Matu. BYU working hard to keep him out. Held up for quite a while. Maudlin now has Biseg. Biseg to Mario Storti, and Storti breaks the line. He's in. He's going to work to the middle of the pitch, and St. Mary's gets the try. They take advantage from the 5-meter scrum.
Yeah, it was a nice gap run early on by TJ. Good, strong platform set for King Matu, who had a quick take and go. They decided to pop it out. B-Sag had a nice little pop pass out to Mario. Nice gap there that he shot through and was able to bring it closer to the center for another try for St. Mary's.
So now St. Mary's will have the opportunity to take advantage of the numbers with that yellow card. Of course, right there, not really an opportunity to take advantage of numbers per se because they were all in the scrum still. We'll see how things play out for the next 8 to 10 minutes and see what changes. Matov Arusha has now entered as that one slotted home by Hunter Maudlin. And I didn't see who's checking out.
I think John Henry. So Matov coming in to play loose head prop.
So that's a change made for the St. Mary's side. Pappas and Filipetto in on the tackle. Belknap all the way back to Mon. Mon is going to kick now. Biseg and Storti communicating. Storti takes. Storti takes the contact, bounces off, continues the run into BYU territory. Strong stuff from the fullback. Pappas to Biseg. Biseg looking at his options. He's got Tukuafu. Tukuafu has Siale Ofa. Ofa down inside the 22. Here comes Biseg. Biseg's got Filipetto. Filipetto, a good catch into contact there. An underrated play. You don't realize how tough that is. Biseg tries to find the line with a dummy. Pappas, St. Mary's with numbers. Storti, Toya Eval, he's got the corner and he takes it. Josefa JT Toya Eval with the try, and it is as back and forth as it gets. It's like we've got a tennis match going on, Marty.
Yeah, I think both teams would hope their defense steps up a little bit, but that time St. Mary's poking and prodding, a lot of attacks into the centers, and then popping it out wide. Great run by JT there at the end. Nice pop pass by TJ. Good pass in, and JT was able to finish it. So really, really strong rugby by St. Mary's. Great rugby on the other side of the pitch with Ciali. Good bust through there, breaking the line. Good defense by BYU to tackle him. That's a Ciali's a pretty tough kid to tackle, so very good rugby right there by St. Mary's in their possession.
This one's up off the right foot of Maudlin, off the upright and good. He doinks it home. Big time conversion.
That's a difference of inches there. Oliver Klein hit the goalpost and it popped out. That one hooked in for Hunter Maudlin. A strong leg kick right there, giving St. Mary's a temper.
Time with the kickoff from BYU this time. Toya Eval goes to Pappas. Pappas kicks. Brown takes. No trouble staying in play this time. Tries to find Mon in the middle. It bounces. He's still comfortable and composed. That one blocked by Matu. Now knocked back. St. Mary's applying pressure. Sake kicks it through. And then BYU just kicks that one through the back of their own tri-zone. Had no other choice, really. They were under heavy pressure from St. Mary's.
Yeah, it was a good recovery there by BYU to kick it out through the end of the end zone there. St. Mary's, great block by King Matu, blocks the kick after a bad pass earlier by BYU, and then St. Mary's was really chasing down. A couple of BYU players there did well, and he kicked it through. Now St. Mary's has the scrum, attacking scrum at the 5-meter line.
Big opportunity for St. Mary's to expand upon their lead, give themselves some insurance. BYU has scored pretty well throughout this one, as have the Gales, but you want to take advantage here. Pappas through one tackler. Taken down by Pugmar. Maudlin's got Bisag. Bisag has Coakley. Coakley's inside the 5. BYU dragging him back out to the 5. There's Bisag once more. There's the 7, Sione Ofa. Bisag's going to try a kick play, going to try and find Toia Eval. Brown tries to take it. It's loose. Toia Eval falls on it, and that's a try for the Gales. Matt Brown just couldn't come down with it. You can see he's disappointed with himself, it appears.
Yeah, it looks like there's
Appears
a
to be all
conversation.
right, which is good. They are going to have a conversation, make sure Toia Eval didn't knock it down after Brown dropped it. And they are going to reverse the call. So it's going to be St. Mary's possession, but it's a knock-on from Brown and then a knock-on from Toia Eval. So St. Mary's gets the advantage from the first knock-on and another opportunity at that 5-meter scrum, I believe. Definitely a knock-on from Brown first. So they got that part right. Unsure how solid the knock-on from Toia Eval is. Very close play. Tough to tell even on the stream. Maudlin hits Toia Eval. Now Toia Eval is going to go get himself credit for a try.
Yeah, a little sneaky there. He had that wing hiding behind the scrum with our fly half Bisag, who draws a lot of attention on the defense.
Yes, he does.
And Hunter did a great job of popping that, committing that loose forward and popping it to JT, who ran right off his hip. Perfect timing, perfect play, right through the gap for the try. So that was a fantastic job by St. Mary's right there.
And it gets St. Mary's a much-needed cushion the way BYU has scored throughout the entire match, but especially here in the second half. Pretty much anytime they end up at St. Mary's territory, they've been converting for a try. So now St. Mary's up by 16 pending the conversion kick from Hunter Maudlin.
Yeah, St. Mary's, showing again today how dangerous they can be with ball in hand. And if they stay mistake-free, as Hunter slots it down the middle for the conversion, if they can stay mistake-free, they put a lot of pressure on even the best teams in the country. So they can do well if they stay mistake-free, whether it's handling, knock-ons, silly penalties, whatever it may be. You say that about a lot of teams, but not as many teams are as dynamic as St. Mary's with ball in hand.
That was just maybe a spot that was already seen too many times today. BYU's got to play their running now. Excellent tackling there from St. Mary's. That was, once again, Sialeofa having a great game for St. Mary's.
Yeah, just unfortunate they weren't able to link up there.
On comes Broughton and Younger now. St. Mary's really starting to use the reserves. Give them one final push for these slowing last him down as much
minutes.
as possible rather than going in with the wrap-up in this stage of the match. St. Mary's, excellent tackling, drives BYU back into touch after the line out and some play. Well done by the Gales.
Yeah, BYU really trying to get the ball around the corner there, and good strong tackles by St. Mary's. Held the wing up a little bit, and then St. Mary's was able to drive them out of bounds, create the turnover. Now as their line out, they'll do well to maintain possession of this ball and get the ball in the back line here and try to do some damage.
Has Filippetto. Filippetto, a strong run into BYU territory, gains a few meters. And he's actually tackled up top. So St. Mary's going to get a good opportunity now. Have to Matu. Matu dummy, Matu strong run. Here comes Biseg. Biseg steps all the way through the line, finds the gap, and touches it down for the try. St. Mary's puts the dagger in this one. Excellent play there from St. Mary's.
Yeah, great little line out play there. King Matu takes it as if they're going to roll the maul, pops it out to Nico, who came around and popped it out, and then they set the ruck. Big gap by Dom Bisag. Optionality there. He's thinking about all of his options. I can pass it out wide. I can keep the ball. He read the defense. Perfect read. Again, high IQ. Saw the gap. Burst through it. Was able to dot the ball down for the 8th try of the day for St. Mary's.
Things change. Then Klein goes down with an apparent injury. Another guy we hope is okay for his own sake and the remainder of the St. Mary's season. But then Bisag back into fly half. And the way they're continuing to maneuver and even using the subs now, it's been very impressive how deep this team is. Bisag, Younger out wide. Here comes Siale, the electrifying freshman, making his way through the BYU defense. Pop is taken out hard there. More of the reserves on the field. To'i'i foul, a long throw, football style. Special line out that St. Mary's is pulling out of the bag of tricks. Bisag, Younger, Storty. Storty's going to take this one all the way through the contact and dots it down for the try. What a play there from the Gales. On the line out, To'i'i Ivao just rips it. He was a high school quarterback, and he just let it fly. St. Mary's backs took care of the rest.
Yeah, what a great throw, and Saki with a great catch there, held on to it. 2 defenders there. It wasn't like they didn't defend that well. Good defense there. Saki maintained possession and then popped it out. And that's when St. Mary's is at its best. They have many attackers. Saw the gap. Mario was able to lower the shoulder and drive over for the 9th try of the day. But good hand skills by a lot of the Gales right there.
What a special drawn-up play there from Coach O'Brien, taking advantage of his personnel, which we've been talking about all day. And JT just letting it rip. Not sure if he was his high school football team's kicker, but he slotted the earlier conversion home. We'll see how he does here from a little bit of a tougher angle.
Yeah, no, JT was all set to go play football.
Oh my goodness, that was money. And what a touch from Jack Becker on the receiving end.
Yes. JT was a high school quarterback, dual threat quarterback, played rugby, started to play rugby late. His high school football coach, I think, knows Tim O'Brien and reached out and was really able to tell JT, look, you got a future in rugby, and that's a sport you can do very well in. So he made the decision, albeit a little bit late, was able to come to St. Mary's, and the rest, in his sophomore year, I think now. So another great example of St. Mary's network.
Yeah. Not everybody that comes to St. Mary's is a rugby player at first. That's one of the fun parts about this program. All are welcome, though.
Yeah, that's a great clearing kick right there by Don Bisag. Again, that's how many St. Mary's players have kicked the ball today. Several of them.
Yeah.
All have been excellent kicks.
BYU now taking this deep into St. Mary's territory. You got to stay in play if you want to keep this one going. And tackled in to touch, Ethan Younger doing a lot of the work there. And the official with the final whistle to end this one, St. Mary's, a quality victory, 60-28 over a very strong BYU squad.
Yeah, great game by St. Mary's. The final score definitely doesn't indicate how close this game really was, but St. Mary's, after being tested in that beginning of this second half, they were able to bounce back and show some of their might and score several tries. 9 tries against a good BYU team is tough to do. So congratulations to St. Mary's on a well-earned victory today.
Yeah, as we mentioned early on in this one, St. Mary's took control. They looked good early on. BYU was able to answer at the end of the first half, which meant good stuff for BYU and some momentum as they entered the second half. They were even able to go on that 21-5 run at the beginning of the second half. As we mentioned, it was 32-28, a very close match. And as you mentioned, Marty, we saw good stuff from both sides.
Yeah, definitely. You hope a couple of the injuries that St. Mary's had that went off today, Pongi and Klein, you hope both those guys are okay and it's nothing serious and they'll be able to bounce back because a lot of the strength that St. Mary's has is its depth. So you hope all those players are healthy.
Same goes for Conlon of BYU, of course. Just tough to remember all the injuries. There were a few too many injury substitutions, more than we like to see in today's match, but it's pretty uncommon you'll end up with 0. So that'll do it from here in Moraga, a 60-28 victory for St. Mary's. Thank you so much for tuning into the Gale Rugby YouTube channel. On behalf of myself, Griffin Snyder, my broadcast partner, Marty Storty, it is always a pleasure.